Hello everyone, I'm Broughy1322 and welcome back to the Choking Hazard podcast. It's the first one in 4 months, I think. The last one we did was January. I'm back with some of my usual co-hosts. We've got Sugar-Free Nos over there.
I'm back. The reports of my death greatly exaggerated.
It's been even longer since you've been here. God, I don't know when your last podcast was, but holy moly.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We do not have RDT, as you can see, but we do have Josh over there in the corner.
Well,
and Hammer down there in the booth as well.
Up. Hello.
And we got many things to talk about since it has been a third of a year since the last time we were here together talking. We're obviously going to start talking about GTA 6, but after that, we've got me being a dad. Now we're going to talk about that, what that's like. Nos has crazy things happening in his life that he now owns a Domino's and has a new car.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit of craziness. Josh has been here, there, and everywhere, and hosting super special events and doing all sorts of things. So we got a lot to unpack, but I feel like it would be wrong to not start with a small discussion on GTA 6 since we have had a lot more information about it since the last time we were here. This video is brought to you by the Twitch area of my website. Check out my stream schedule and what I'll be playing each stream, as well as info on emotes, sub badges, donation sounds, and more at broughy.com/twitch. So originally we thought we were going to be talking about the fact that GTA 6 was delayed. Like, that was the main big news. Okay, we're not getting it for a while now. It's going to be next May. That was going to be the news. But then they just dropped everything. Trailer, website with a lot of images and information. That's the way you follow up a delay announcement, I suppose. What were your guys' thoughts? Because I mean, anyone who's watching this on my channel has probably already seen my analysis videos on it and all that, and my thoughts. What were your guys' thoughts when we saw all that information?
Well, first I want to praise Rockstar's marketing team for a brilliant marketing strategy. Like, announce a delay, wait a little bit, everyone talk about it, and then trailer drop and all the information drop, and now all anyone's talking about is how good the trailer and everything is. I haven't seen many people complaining about the delay.
Delay is like, I mean, to complain about the delay is to complain about the sun rising in the east yet again. Or the Earth rotating on its axis. I feel like it's kind of pointless to complain.
I, as fellow content creator like you, Broughy, I also made a 2-hour-long video of a 2.5-minute-long trailer.
Picking it apart.
But I watched yours a little bit, I think. You were like talking about all the cars, right, that you could see. Like, oh, here's this car and here's this car. And meanwhile, I'm like totally car blind on my channel. I'm looking at all the graphical effects and stuff. The production quality on Rockstar games, the last two anyway, like Red Dead and GTA 5, was absolutely insane. Like, industry gold standard. Like, people still play 5, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, looking at it now, like 2 generations later, like what a GTA game looks like is insane. The glass, Broughy. You have no idea how good the glass is. Holy shit.
I think that's one of the best things about, like, so many people covering it, because you get so many different takes and interpretations of everything that you're seeing. Like, you're focusing on the graphical stuff. I looked at cars and locations and things, and then you get other creators doing focusing on other things and noticing things. There's just so much to unpack with it. But yeah, 100%, like, props to their marketing team, because they really knocked that one out of the park.
Yeah.
And not just the trailer too, but the whole website portion with all the screenshots and the character introductions and everything like that. Like, it all looked really great. I mean, I would expect that from the largest game release of probably our lifetime, but still, it was really good. It was really fun to read through all that stuff and watch the trailer and everything. I really enjoyed it.
We know so much now, like so much more. It was such an info dump from that one trailer. over a year ago to then trailer plus this entire website. It was crazy. I couldn't believe how much information they decided to give.
I went back and watched through all of the leaked videos after the trailer.
I haven't done that yet. I still have them, but I haven't done it. Yeah. I mean, I don't have them. I go around to an unnamed friend's house to watch them.
Yeah,
I have them up here in my brain. You'll never take that from me.
But I went back and watched them, and it's like, the nightclub that's in it. It's just like, oh, that makes sense because it's story-wise. There's like a lot of stuff happening in that nightclub now.
Yeah.
Like, the sort of main characters on the website are like the nightclub people and stuff, and it's that club. And seeing the graphical progression between the leaks that everyone said, oh, this game looks crap, to even trailer 1, which they were like forced to release because they had to release something publicly because of all the leaks. So they needed to SEO squash it.
Yeah.
And then even from trailer 1 to trailer 2, the graphical improvement stuff is ridiculous.
It does look incredible. I mean, we did a little comparison because when they tweeted out about the fact that half of it was captured in gameplay and half was like cutscenes, I went back at the trailer and did a small bit on the stream of seeing if we could pick out, okay, that's gameplay, that's cutscene. It seemed pretty easy to do when if you've got experience with the Rockstar editor in GTA 5, it's pretty easy to figure out which bits are from gameplay. But also, the gameplay is going to be hand-picked for looking the best. It'll be like scripted parts of missions and all this kind of stuff. But still, it's incredible that that's just the game, So I think we're in for a good time. We are in for a good time. Quite what the online is going to look like, who knows? But certainly for a single player experience, it looks like it's going to be pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah. I just hope it. Go on.
Well, what I was going to say is, with the idea of the character switching mechanic, like it's the thought comes to me that it's strange that they didn't do a couple thing in the last one. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that dynamic will work so much better.
I think so too.
For a character switching thing than like 3 dudes that are all in different places all the time.
Yeah.
So
that was one of the main issues, I think, with GTA 5 story, that it was just a bit shallow because it was trying to focus on 3 separate characters, whereas now you've got a couple.
I publicly hate GTA 5 single player for exactly that's one of the main reasons is like the story. Like, what is Franklin's storyline? I love asking people this. Do anyone know what happens to Franklin? He meets Michael. That's about it.
That's kind of it. And he just goes on some jobs with them, and he just gets tagged along, doesn't he?
There's like some sort of stuff about some girlfriend or something. Like, I remember he talks about her at the beginning of the game, and then there's one point.
Tanisha, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay, brush up on your lore.
Yeah, okay. But there's a bit when you're in the strip club and he rings her or something, and then there's like a bit at the end of the game where she comes and talks to Franklin in the last mission or something. And I'm at the end of the game, I'm like, who are you? Like,
there's not an awful lot of like character development or anything, or really getting into the weeds and the backstory of character. Maybe Michael gets that treatment more so than any of the others. But even so, in comparison to like other GTA games where you have one character,
does he learn any lessons? I mean, it's okay. We're getting off the rails. We're gonna start griping about GTA.
But yeah, like you said, like GTA 6, there are couples or whatever, so the story is going to be so much more entwined. Presumably.
They're together.
It's gonna make way more sense. Yeah.
Which I think it's going to be
one less character as well.
And from the snippets of gameplay or missions or whatever that we saw in the trailer, it seems like the ideas behind the missions are going to be so much more reasonable, I guess the word could say, more like Grand Theft Auto. It seems like there's going to be no more like raiding the FIB headquarters and like super government stealth missions to retrieve a neurotoxin or whatever garbage that was. I just saw a Ram 3500 pull a safe behind it. Okay, that's the kind of crime I'm looking for. When it comes.
It just seemed more of like a classic GTA rags to riches kind of story, rather than just the chaos that was GTA 5.
Can you judge it that much from trailers? Like, what's GTA 5 trailers? Do they show all of the secret agent spy stuff that you do in that?
Maybe not. They did show. It's interesting. I didn't know this, but like in the GTA 5 promotional stuff, they showed the end of the game, like various parts of cutscenes from the trailer. I haven't gone back and watched them actually, but like they show really deep into the game. So I wonder if we've seen sort of end game stuff in the GTA 6 trailer, but you never know until you play it.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We've got a year to wait for it, though. How are you feeling about that?
Fine.
Same as I did before when I knew that there was going to be a delay. Like I said, how do you feel that the sun rose today? Well, I feel the same as ever. Because it was guaranteed.
Yeah, it kind of was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was always so far off in the distance anyway that I haven't thought about how close it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I need to buy a PS5 Pro of all flipping things. So the longer I have to do that, the better.
That's the only thing. Yeah, that's the only thing that makes me annoyed. So I'm gonna end up having to buy a console for it. I'll have to do the Red Dead 2 again. So I bought a PlayStation 4 Pro for Red Dead 2, and now I'll buy a PlayStation 5 Ultra or whatever is going to be out at that time for GTA 6.
And then it'll be out a year later on the PlayStation 6 or something. Probably before it goes to PC.
Yeah, then a year later a PC.
Yeah.
And by then I'll have to get a new PC. You know.
Yeah, it's there was something that I wanted to say about it, but I feel like I've the thought has eluded me. So if it comes up in my head throughout the course of us talking about other stuff, I'll just drop it in at some point. But yeah, GTA 6, it's gonna be pretty special. I'm kind of happy actually that we've got another year to go. It gives me a bit more time to settle into life and get used to things and get ready to start working hard when GTA 6 drops.
Yeah.
Because if it had dropped now, I would be in serious trouble trying to get time away from having a baby. Look at that segue.
Yeah.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm now a dad. I guess I should talk about it at least a little bit.
I love how we put GTA 6 trailer 2 above in priority than being dad.
Well, this way I can put it in the title of the podcast, get the clicks, then everyone will leave now, but at least we'll get the views and the ad revenue.
Well, I mean, you don't run mid-roll ads. Why are we still here?
Yeah, so we're done. Yeah,
that's it. We're done. Yeah, we just do 15 minutes of. Yeah. Well, no, you get the YouTube Premium revenue for more people. More people watch throughout a long video. You know that helps. YouTube Premium is starting to creep up on just sheer ad revenue lately.
Maybe for you, Mr. No mid-roll ads. Let's like.
Okay, well, yeah, that's fair.
Let me check mine while you tell us about being a dad.
Okay. It's hard. Who knew?
Is it?
This is your contribution to the discourse on parenthood. It's hard.
Yeah. I know, right? Wow. No, it's getting better. We're just over 3 months in now, and it's rough, but it's also special. Like every time, like now, it's gradually getting better because he's starting to react more to me and his environment and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, in the very early days, he's just this blob that you've got to look after.
Yeah, like a little worm.
Yeah. But like now, every morning when I wake up, I look at him, he looks up at me and smiles and laughs. Like little moments like that, and that's starting to become more and more frequent now. So it's getting better and better. It's hard work, and my streams are all completely shot. My all work related stuff is completely shot. Everything's upside down because you're just trying to survive at the moment. But yeah, I still don't feel like a dad, I think, right now, honestly. Like I don't identify myself as a dad yet.
Yeah, what do you expect? So I guess when they're like actually a human and not a worm.
Maybe when he's like actually up and talking and walking and or maybe when he's called, maybe
fall off of a thing.
That's something that I read is that like for fathers, like the mothers get that bond sort of immediately because they were inside them for 9 months and they've just got a special bond of like. For fathers, that doesn't tend to come as quickly, and it can sort of wait until they sort of react like he's doing now, smiling at me, or if I'm going to start talking and he'll talk back at me and things like that. That's when it gradually starts to increase that bond. So maybe when he calls me dad, I'll start feeling like a dad. But at the minute, I don't know. I just feel like I'm just looking after this blob.
I think the first time you'll feel like a dad is when you do that like dad reaction thing where like they're about to fall off of a thing and you grab them.
Yeah. Save his life.
Yeah,
maybe. But I mean, the more you get into it, the more you realize you just don't know anything. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. We both don't have a clue what we're doing. We're just surviving from one day to the next and trying to figure it out as we go. And then the next day, he actually started sleeping quite well. Like last week or so, he was sleeping for like 6 hours. He got a 7.5 hour stint one night.
Oh my God.
And now he's waking up 2 or 3 times a night again. And that, you read up all about it and, they go through different brain development and changes and all this kind of stuff. And that's happening all the time. So everything's just changing all the time. Which is why I'm never on time for anything anymore.
I feel like with this stuff, like people not to be like, I know how to be a dad, Broughy, sort of thing. But I feel like people overthink this a lot.
100%.
It's like a natural thing. Like people have been raising children. Like nature wants us to be able to bring up a child. That's like the whole purpose. Or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think you can mess it up too much. I don't know.
I think ultimately, just the backseat dad. I know.
Backseat dad.
Just stop caring. How hard is it? Come on.
Yeah. I think especially as a first-time parent, you kind of you definitely look into things way too much, or as a second-time parent, you're a lot more chill, and you throw the baby in the crib and leave it for a few hours because you're too busy to do anything else. Whereas you're trying to make sure you're doing it right the first time because it's your first time and you think there's a right way to do it. But really, from what I am, gathering, you just need to be there. You need to be present, feed the baby, love the baby, and it'll generally all work out okay.
Yeah, okay. That sounds about right.
But yeah, that's where we're at. Very early stages still. I'll tell you. I'll tell you when he starts saying "dad." Or when I feel do you
have like a routine of who wakes up when during what? Like when they wake up in the middle of the night, do you take turns?
We don't. We kind of just do it together. It's been really nice with him not waking up in the middle of the night because we've generally, especially when he's been sleeping for like 6 and 7 hours, that's enough sleep for me. It's not enough sleep for Zexy actually. So what's been happening is I've been getting up when he wakes up at like 6 a.m. He gets fed, and then I take him downstairs, entertain him, play with him, all that kind of stuff for a few hours while she gets a bit of extra sleep. But when he wakes up in the middle of the night, I go change him, give him to Zexy, she feeds him, and then I put him back in his crib. So it's sort of like we split it up, but we're both awake at the same time. But yeah, it's just sleep makes everything so much easier when you're actually getting. Even if it's broken up a little bit, if you're just able to get some sleep. In the very early days, he wasn't sleeping in a crib. He had to be on one of us. And that was tough. Trying to stay awake when he's, on your lap. And all you want, your body is craving sleep. And then you have to split it to the next person. And so there's ups and downs. It's rough. But it's also... I'm starting to get those bits of niceness and specialness, and I think that's only going to increase as time goes on. It'll get easier and easier as well.
How old are they now?
He's 3. He's 14 weeks in 2 days. It'll be 14 weeks the day this goes up on YouTube. In 2 days' time. He's getting there. He's grown well as well.
Time
He's getting big. He was small when he first came out, but he's getting buff now. But anyway, I have ownership of a child now, whereas Nos
you're on fire with these
has
today.
ownership of something entirely different. Tell us all about it, Nos.
Okay, yeah, hello. Yeah, dadhood, yeah, parenthood. Whoa. But yeah, no, my camera. Hold on.
You're having excellent autofocus on that camera.
Yeah, it's struggling.
From your new location again.
Yeah, I'm in a new location. I am in the great state of Mississippi.
I like it. Why did you question that? Is it not is there a question mark on that?
Yes,
100%. Okay.
100%. Okay. I mean, the area that I'm in is pretty nice. It's pretty great, but Mississippi as a whole is not well regarded as a good state. So anyway, I guess I could start from the beginning. So how long ago would it have been? About a year ago now. Some friends or a very good friend that I work with, decided that he was going to partner with another coworker of ours, that was kind of a district for the franchise that we worked for. They were going to partner together and open a Domino's. But there's one little problem with that is it costs a lot of money. So there was
just like a child then.
Yes. Yeah. Well, except children are depreciating assets.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, so the other person, who is that wasn't my close friend, who's the franchisee for, she is the franchisee. She had a friend of hers who contributed the majority of the money that she needed, and then I contributed a little bit, about $10,000. And now, and I never thought it'd happen. I figured I was just taking the money and just. But here I am, actually in the Domino's. I own a small portion of it, and I have a job with them, and a career path with them, and it's pretty good. So we've got our one store. We purchased it, and when I say we, it's mostly them. I'm the lowest rung on the totem pole, but I'm still here.
So are you am I right? Are there multiple people who've put money in, or is it that one person?
There's me and one other person who have like actually put money in. Then there's my good friend who's the other partner. He's kind of the secondary partner as far as like Domino's is concerned, right? There's essentially two people. There's the franchisee, and then there's the second person, and then me and the other person that put in money it's more of a deal between us, like between us group of people. Like we're not, it has nothing to do with Domino's in a way. But
I hope you have contracts for that. That sounds like rife for the actual franchisee of Domino's just going, oh yeah, well this is my store. I'm the one recognized by Domino's.
Yeah. It's like it's a whole bunch of different complicated things and contracts and everything. But the way that Domino's recognizes like who a franchisee is very weird. Like it's usually just one person. So you can have and like whoever that one person is has to have at least 51% of the of the company, and they're officially the owner of the store.
Okay.
So it's very strange. It's very weird. But anyway, shoot, there was something else I was gonna say.
See, I was like this earlier. It was an important point I wanted to make too. I thought it was interesting. It was going to be,
yeah,
it was a great point that was going to provoke discussion, and just gone. That's my life now.
But the general idea is, there's kind of a there's like an order of operations as to who is going to not work first, right? So like the primary franchisee is going to be the first one to eventually not have to work anymore, and then my buddy that I've partnered with, he will be next to not work, and let's say like a 5-year timeline or so, and then eventually I will hopefully not work. I'll end up being a supervisor for multiple stores, and then at some point, hopefully, I will hire a replacement that I train, and then, that'll be when we're at, several stores. So we're working on getting the second store now. So the first location, the first location that we have, um, so if you're a franchisee and you run a bad Domino's, Domino's will force you to sell it. And that is the position that the Domino's that we now own was in. It was being forced to be sold because
based on what metrics?
On food quality, service times, operations, evaluation scores, everything was just garbage at this store. Like you're supposed to run, like an average delivery time of, let's say, 27 minutes, right? Let's throw a number out there. This place was running an average delivery time of 50 minutes. Like the franchisees had just given up on the store because they didn't like it.
On multiple fronts.
Yeah. And it was failing because they weren't in there, right? It's not like it was necessarily failing because the previous owners were just bad. It's just they gave up on the store. It's a hard to staff store. It's a hard to staff area. It's not the best area. And they had already built 2 other stores, and they're in the process of building a third one, and they just gave up on it. Like they just hands off gave up on it, especially when the numbers got bad enough for corporate to say, "Hey, y'all need to sell this." Then they were just like, I don't know, if I was a franchisee, why would I walk up in there? Yeah, if I was being forced to get rid of it. Anyway, we bought it, and we're turning things around. We're making some good product and doing a lot better on service times. And there are certain metrics and goals that we have to meet with our service times and other stuff to be approved to get a second store. And hopefully within 6 months to a year we'll have a second store, because with the one store, money's very tight. It's extremely tight. So once you get that second and that third location, money kind of opens up to where, everybody can actually make a decent amount of money. It's because we're, all of us are in the store for just like normal Domino's money. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like we just got some kind of extravagant pay raise. Like, my buddy, my good friend that's a partner, took a pay cut to come do this. I kind of took a pay cut to do this. Going from driving to working on the inside. So
being a
because
a business owner is completely different to being an employee.
Yes, and it's there's a lot of stuff I do understand. There's a lot of stuff I don't understand yet that I'm learning.
Do you think your experience being working on Domino's has helped a lot?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can do pretty much everything in the store. Yeah. So, I mean, if I was coming into this without that experience, that'd be bad. I worked at another store for about 3 months before we purchased this store to kind of brush up on my quality of work on the inside, because I'd always been a driver and I'd never been a manager. I've been able to. I'm capable of managing. I've just never been a manager because it didn't pay enough. And
Yeah, I remember you telling us a story that you were actually better off as a driver with tips than you would have been as a manager of the store.
And that is still the same. Like my like I'm making $15 an hour right now.
Yeah.
So plus what I'm getting from being a part owner every month, which is not substantial. Yeah. So I took a pay cut to come out here, but it's about the future, right? It's about that path to the future.
As a driver,
was,
you're only ever going to be a driver and get your tips and there's a max.
Well, and even if I were to move up to management or whatever, there was no place for me to go within the franchise I was working for. And in fact, that's why my good friend left, is because he eventually found out there was nowhere for him to go. He was essentially trapped in being the general manager of the store that I worked at, even though he wanted to be a supervisor of several stores and was qualified and capable and everything like that. That's the main reason he left, was, he was shown that he got passed over essentially for one of the owner's kids.
Ah, okay.
To be the supervisor.
It's like, oh, sorry then, I'll go do it myself.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. This sounds a lot like the difference between renting something and owning something. Like if you rent a home, you're just like, every month you just set money on fire for no reason. But if you own it, you're like you're investing in something. Here it's like you're working at the store and you want to work harder because you own the store, right? Like,
that's true. That's definitely an element I've been taking a lot more pride in my work than I have previously. That's for sure. And I've felt a lot better about work since the first week. I had a hard first week over here. But since then it's been a lot better. And it does feel different, with it reflecting on me and reflecting on us. But the dynamic of the partnership is, the main franchisee had all the qualifications, right? Like all the scores and the experience and the knowledge and whatever. And then my good friend was the kind of the workhorse, right? So he's the one that's willing to come in and pull like 70 hours to make sure everything works. And then, me and Cassandra and then another guy, the other two, Cassandra and the other guy are not like owners or anything, but they're employees. We're the future staff, So when we get that second store, one of us goes to the second store, one of us stays and runs the first store.
You're sort of at the start of a journey where the plan is to build things up and gradually move. Like you said, there's a plan. You can move up and eventually get to a point where you are one of the owners and everyone else does everything.
There's a defined path for me going forward that we've already discussed, and it's very real. Like, now that we're over here and we actually have the store and we're actually working in the store, like I didn't think this was gonna be real. Like I said, I was like, no, nothing like this ever happens to me. Like, good things don't happen. People just lie, or things don't work. But sure enough, here we are.
Cool.
So I feel a lot more confident with our future prospects. That's for cool. Sure for expanding. And once the ball gets rolling, it's one of those things that kind of keeps rolling. Right, because the way that it, like, Domino's looks at people, right, or for what I've been told in other people's experience, is if you're building, that's what they want you to do. They want you to go and open new locations, right? Because Domino's gets a royalty off of every sale, every week. You pay Domino's a royalty, so they want more locations. So if you're building, they're happy with you. But if you're not building, they're not very happy with you. Like the store that I worked at for 6 years, it was part of a franchise group of like 14 stores, right? And then the store that I went to for 3 months before I got out here, it was a one store franchise, and it's been one store since it opened probably 20 years ago. And it's one store because one of the weeks that I was there, they hit their sales record of $60,000 in sales in 1 week.
I got no reference for what a normal Domino's might be.
That's a normal good Domino's is probably making about $25,000 a week.
Right, okay.
Cool. And that's a good one. Like, for our store, we're around 18.
Okay.
Right, and we're still trying to build that back up.
So 60 is massive.
So 60 is humongous. That's a college town Domino's. That's a like a tech center Domino's, like that's an extremely high volume store. So yeah, it's
Well,
the start of a journey.
Being a part
Yeah, well,
owner
thank
of a
you.
Domino's, crazy.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's just yeah, I can't believe I'm out here, and we're all renting a house together, which has been a struggle. It's been a major struggle.
Well, like all
Yes.
of the owners of the Domino's are all
Yes.
renting a house together. Wow, okay.
Horrible.
It is. It's horrible. It's horrible.
You don't even get to go
but
home and like escape it.
yes, yes, exactly. And that's one of my good friend's problems is him and the primary franchisee both live here, and it's just like
Yeah.
just work all the time. It's terrible. Don't get me wrong. That element is terrible. Luckily, I've been swiping the credit card that I have to make this room kind of more of a safe space. Because when it was like an air mattress on the ground, I just wanted to I just wanted to run out into traffic. So. But with the low volume nature of the store, we couldn't afford to all go get our own place.
Yeah.
That's the kind of margins we're working on here.
At the very start, for stuff like that, you've got to be playing it smart and not overextending.
And like I said, things will open up, with that second store, especially with that third store, because instead of so let's say the primary franchisee needs to have a salary, right? Instead of taking all of that salary out of the sales of one store, they can split it between the multiple stores.
Yeah.
So it's it's
pooling
not
multiple
so much
resources
of a
together.
Yeah, and then that allows all of your stores to turn more of a profit instead of all of one store's going to this or that. So
That's just like basic economy of scale stuff, right?
Yeah.
Put this super simply, like it's not going to be like this, but if one store ran out of pizza dough or something, you could be like, oh, it's all right, the one that we own like a mile away has some, we'll just transfer us. Obviously not that situation, but
we would do that back at the previous Domino's that we worked at.
Yeah, but then if you only have one store and you run out of dough, then shit out of luck. No more money for you.
Yeah, you better be friends with the other franchisees.
Yeah. It's just all economy of scale stuff, right? Yeah, it makes.
Yeah. So it's I am now a capitalist. So good for me. We're gonna see how this economic system works for me.
So you've still got the place. Your old place, I'm guessing, in Alabama. Like
my home.
You haven't sold that or anything.
No, I have not. So I still have my bills to pay there. Luckily, I've designed my life around minimizing.
Yeah, I remember
payments.
You talking about that on previous
my mortgage payment's $440 a month, and that's with the home insurance.
Yeah.
So, it's I'm making it financially, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Did you sell cars?
Yes, I did sell cars. I have liquidated my stock. I still have my NA Miata, but I'm working on selling it. So if anyone wants to buy it, please come buy it. Because I'm having difficulty selling it, and I don't even have it overpriced anymore. So I don't know what the problem is. But someone needs to come buy this car because I need the money.
I mean, so you've sold some cars, but you've also bought another car.
Yes,
I've also
bought a car.
Wow,
I've also bought a car.
Fancy.
Yeah, it's very fancy. I like it a lot. You can show the photo.
I will show the image.
I have worked for a long time, ever since the dawn of my life. I have worked to buy an ND Miata, and I actually bought an ND Miata, and it's just as sick as I thought it would be. It's awesome.
Yeah, you're happy.
Yes, I'm very happy. It's an amazing car. It really is. It's every bit of glazing that every single person has ever done online about this car is correct. So It is really fantastic. So it's a you can see that I got it from CarMax, which I will explain why.
That's so is that the latest Master model?
It is the 21 is an ND2, so the most recent's the ND3, and it came like the ND3.
But it's like they're all the same sort of shape, right? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen that sort of newer MX5 shape driving around various, here when.
It's not like they're uncommon cars.
Yeah, and every time we see one, both Xerxes and I are both like, damn, they look so good.
They do look so good. They do look so good. So this one is a 21 NDRF club. It is a club, but it does not have the Brembo Recaro BBS package. That's my dream spec of one, is to have the Brembo Recaro BBS package. But this one does not. But it's still a club. So it comes with cloth bucket seats. It comes with the Bose audio and all the other stuff that you would want. It just doesn't have that top tier package. From the research that I did, after 23, the RF, so which is the retractable fastback, that's the hard top, only came in Grand Touring or the Club, which had the package I want. But before that, 22 and back, you could get a Club, but without that package, which is what this is.
How does the driving experience feel in comparison to the other MX5s you've had?
It is surprise. Like, I was surprised at how familiar it feels.
I mean, it is such an iconic car. I imagine they wouldn't want to change the feel of it too much.
Like, it definitely feels fundamentally different from my NA, right?
Yeah.
In terms of kind of what's going on, but compared to my NB, like the seating position's really similar, where the shifter is really similar. The way that the way the handling feels, obviously it handles better. It's a more advanced car.
Yeah.
But in a lot of ways, it feels very similar to the NB in like all the good ways. Obviously,
I would have thought it would have like the risk would be that with a modern car, it's got loads more weight on it and all these new gadgets and things, and it just doesn't feel the same.
No, it weighs exactly the same.
Really?
As the weight of the MX5 has not changed. I have the RF, so I think that adds like 200 something pounds. Again, I'm sure some other Miata fans in the comments will fact check me, but I think it adds like 200 to 300 pounds. But the reason that I got the RF is, I sold my Accord because my Accord had 265,000 miles on it now.
Jesus.
And I knew that I was going to be driving back and forth between here and Alabama pretty often.
Yeah. How long is it, by the way? Does it take? Is it a long drive?
It's a 4-hour drive.
Oh,
it's a 4-hour drive. So I knew that I needed a new car, right? Because I didn't want to be driving my 280,000 mile car back and forth and get stranded on the interstate, 2 hours from either place. And I also knew, I was transitioning into more of a management role, so I wasn't going to be delivering as often.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so, I'll tell you, I'll tell you the details of the car deal. So, I looked everywhere for one. I looked at Mazda dealerships. I looked at that used car dealers. I looked everywhere, and what I wanted a 20 to a 23 NDRF, preferably the Club, but I was going to settle for the Grand Touring if I could not find a Club. I didn't want the Grand Touring because of it has leather seats, which I did not want, and some other stuff that I didn't like about it. And I didn't want a 24 and above because I hate the wheels that come on the 24 and above. So I don't like them at all. I think they look really bad. And also they were more expensive. So like I said, I found that 21. It's got now it has 42,000 miles on it. So it's 21, 42,000 miles, ND, RF, Club. The wheels on it are aftermarket, obviously. Let me remind myself of what they are. They are Koenig ampliforms. So I'm sure that there's some wheel nerds out there that can give their opinions on that.
I am
But they're
not one of
like,
those people.
yeah, it's like, I mean, to get a set of these wheels, it would be over $1,000 to get a set. So they're pretty. I mean, I don't know if $1,000 is expensive for a set of wheels. I actually don't know. Again, I'm not a wheel guy, right? But I like them. I think they look good. I think that they look better than the wheels that came on it from the factory, which is very rare. So usually I don't like aftermarket wheels, but I think those turned out pretty good. And the $30,000 mark, right? Because I originally I wanted to put
Okay.
10,000 down.
You're gonna
Did I
have to
break up a little
repeat what
bit?
you just said because I somehow lost connection for like a few seconds. What did you say? It was literally you were just about to say the price, and then you just cut out.
Oh.
But I think it was on me.
Okay.
I cut out.
Yeah,
but we're back.
yeah.
I don't know what happened, but
Okay. So anyway, the range that I was looking for this car was around $30,000, right? Some of the examples I was looking at that were Grand Tourings that weren't even what I really wanted, for lower mileage examples were, like in the 31 range, which was still a little more than I wanted to pay, but I wanted to do 10,000 down because in my head I was going to have all of my cars sold, and then that would be where the 10,000 came from to put down. Unfortunately, I still have my NA Miata, so
you want to get that sold.
yeah, I still want to get it sold. So I only had 5,000 to put down. So, and I was out here essentially with no car. Me and Cassandra were sharing a car, and that lasted about a week. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I have to go buy a car. The moment that I find an MX-5 that is acceptable to me, I'm going to go look at it and possibly buy it. So I looked online everywhere. I wanted to buy from a Mazda dealer, but yeah, it just didn't work out. I couldn't find one. And then lo and behold, I see this one on CarMax of all places. And went and looked at it, and it's really nice. The price of the car was right in the range I was looking for. It was $26,998, so it was $27,000. And
so
you
under
look it
your
up.
desired amount.
Yeah, it was a little under, but the mileage was a little higher than I was looking for. I was looking for something in the 20 to 30,000 mile range. This one had a little over 40. But but yeah, that was the price, was 27. And that it was comparable to other examples that I was seeing out there. The price was comparable as well. And CarMax does their whole no haggle thing. Yeah, it's like it's just one price. You walk in. If you don't like that price, you leave. There's no sitting and negotiating or fudging numbers or anything like that.
I kind of like
And
that.
I was satisfied with my CarMax experience.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, no, not a sponsor. I'll be open to the sponsorship whenever I find out how this warranty is going to work out that I bought. So the so I put 5,000 down. I financed it for 60 months. I got Gap for it because like with 5,000 down, I was on the bubble of having negative equity in the car. Like if I would have put 10,000 down, I probably wouldn't have gotten Gap because I wouldn't have had any negative equity in the car. But like with only 5,000 down, I was on the bubble, so I went ahead and got Gap. And then CarMax offers the Max Care CarMax warranty, made famous by Doug DeMuro. Years ago when he had his unlimited everything warranty on his Land Rover, and he like took them for $30,000 on
Really?
warranty
Wow.
claims. Yeah, go do some research on that. It's crazy. But the Max Care warranty that I bought, it was like I think it was $2,000 over the course of 60 months. So not bad in my opinion. And it is a 60-month a 150,000-mile warranty. So theoretically, I could be rolling this car into the shop at 180,000 miles and still getting things replaced under warranty, as long as it's within 6 years. And as far as I can tell, unless somebody knows something I don't, the way that the warranty works is like, if it's not on the exclusion list, it's covered. So like an exclusion list is like things you would expect. Like they're not going to pay for your oil changes and your brake rotors and like your wear items.
Yeah.
But if something actually breaks on the car, it's covered. Like I asked, okay, so this retractable fastback, like power top goes out. Is that covered? Yes. My transmission falls out of the car. Is that covered? Yes. If my engine explodes into a burst of flames, is that covered? Yes. So like that, that gave me, especially with me going down to this being my only car, which I've never had only one car, in my whole past of having cars, especially with having one car, that gives me a lot of peace of mind. And I got the plan with the highest deductible. The deductible's $600 on it, because I'm not afraid of like, hey buddy, you need a new radiator, it's $400. I'm afraid of, well, you got unlucky with your transmission on your ND, you need a whole new one. So,
well, nice. I mean, you're a business owner. You've got a nice, shiny new car.
Yeah.
Things are looking up.
Oh, and I guess if anybody's curious, CarMax financed me at an 8.6% interest rate, so which is not terrible given the market on interest rates. Like I think the lowest I could have gotten was probably like a 6 or a 7. So, but I have good credit. But I've never had a major like installment loan on my credit before. So I'm sure if I have this and I pay on it, my credit score will be, great.
How does it feel to be paying for a car monthly rather than like outright?
I don't like it. I don't like it actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for me.
Yeah, I've never had
really
that. Actually, no, I got a loan for my first Civic, but I'd paid it off within like, I want to say 4 months. Like it was always going to be a short-term loan to just cover the little cost that I needed to the difference.
Well,
but yeah, I don't like it.
And the reason that I got this car, I mean, other than the fact that I wanted it, obviously, is like if I was going to go do the responsible adult thing, right, and go get like a Toyota Corolla or whatever, I mean, like 2018 and up Toyota Corollas are $20,000 now, 20,000, 22,000. Like my buddy that I live with, had to get a new car because his Fiat 500 was breaking down. He bought a Corolla and it was like $23,000. So it's like, do I go be a responsible adult and get a Corolla at 23, or do I pay $5,000 more over the next 60 months for the exact car that I've wanted? And it's not as if the MX-5 is unreliable, right? Or a bad car or anything. So like, because there were some manual Corolla hatchbacks that I liked that I was looking at, and they were still $21,000.
Yeah.
So it's
just expensive for cars.
Yeah. Cars are just if you want a modern, safe, car.
Has the
with
used
features,
market in the US calmed down now from when we were last talking about it? When you were trying to find a car?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. It's still outrageous, and then you're gonna have the not to politics, but you'll have the tariffs and the market instability, and everybody's like terrified. Like I was scared that I wouldn't be able to get an MX-5. Like if I waited too long, because I think the new ones are still. I don't know if this is still true, but I remember reading an article that they're all like stuck at the port. Like everyone's MX-5 that they've ordered for this year is still stuck at the port because of reasons, So again, I
fix it again tomorrow.
So yeah, I'm very happy with the car. I'm excited. The power hardtop is great. Android Auto is great. Sirius XM great. Handling great. Car great. I love car. And I look like because the area that we ended up living in down here, pretty. So our store is in a very low income area, and then as typical white business owners, we don't live in that area. we live in the high income area that is nearby. So I actually look like I fit in. I have my nice bright red sports car, so I can fit in with all of my other rich white neighbors. So I'm really keeping up with the Joneses.
We're gonna see the Nos change to a businessman, the classic white businessman.
Yeah. Well, everyone keeps telling me that I'm just gonna I'm gonna buy a big house or whatever, and I keep telling them no. I'm gonna if I make a bunch of money, I'm going to have a warehouse with 20 $10,000 cars. I'm going to become like Hoovie's Garage Light, but without the personal things that he has, I guess.
How's your
Just
car
buy a boat.
Josh?
No, I'm not buying a boat. Do not tell me to buy a boat. Everyone's telling me that I'm going to buy a boat. I'm not going to buy a boat. I do not want a boat. I don't like the water.
You just live on it. You don't sail around.
Yeah, how's your Civic?
If you lived
Josh, how's your
on
Civic?
my Civic?
Yeah,
my Civic's fine. It just runs.
Good car, right?
Yeah, I just drove it all the way to Scotland and back last weekend again. So it just I don't even never. It's it's the only car I've ever owned, and I've never had any reliability issues with it, except that one time the battery died and I replaced it myself. It just goes.
That's not even a reliability issue. That's a wear item.
Yeah, exactly. It just goes. I service it every 6 months to a year or whatever, and that's it. It's just no worries.
We'll come back to this episode. Yeah, in 100 episodes time when Nos actually is on a boat. We'll come back to this point. So I'm not gonna buy a boat.
If you lived in the UK, you'd be one of those people that lived on the canal boat.
Yeah, I don't know how people do that.
I'm sad that I'm not part of the Honda gang anymore. With all that is very sad. Maybe one day I will buy a 2017 Honda Accord Coupe V6 with a 6-speed manual, and I will relive my Honda Accord days. But the Honda Accord's at a good home now. It's with one of my best friends that really needed a car. So she bought it from me, and she's driving her wife and her son around everywhere in it. So
nice. On the way to, that's the 280,000 one, right? On the way to 300,000.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's perfectly so. It's not like it was breaking down or anything. It's perfectly maintained.
Yeah.
I would drive it for another 200,000 miles within 100 miles of my favorite mechanic shop.
Yeah.
But would I take it to California? No, I wouldn't. Would it make it to California and back? Yeah, it would. But you don't want to risk it.
Yeah, there's always a chance it wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
What year is your Civic? Asking in the chat. Wasn't it the same year as mine? 2007.
2007. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was basically you could have bought my old car, basically.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Did your car have a custom sport air filter in it?
I've got no clue.
Poorly installed.
You got a cold air intake?
Oh, probably not then, because it was custom.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you guys about this? Yeah, my Civic. It's like the stock air filter thing. It's just it's like a bottom half and a top half, like a lid or whatever. The lid is missing. So the air filter is just open, and there's a tube that comes out of it that's going to a red cylinder air filter.
That's typical Civic ownership right there.
Yeah,
that's 5 horsepower, right, okay.
Dude. Yeah, okay, sure. But yeah, I when I very first serviced it, I was like, I could replace the air filter because I didn't know anything about that. I know it's super easy, but I was just like, they said they replaced the air filter, but it's being bypassed. I think they replaced the stock one, so I had to figure out how air filters work.
You need to do a catback exhaust and a big old exhaust tip on there, and stance it.
Oh my god,
stance it.
Oh Jesus.
just
hell.
with your wheels out like that instead of like this.
God.
You got 'em like
maybe
that.
the Civic model before that one, you would do stuff like that. I don't think that this model would have that sort of stuff going on.
I've definitely seen the older models with that stuff. Yeah, for sure.
But no, not the sedan Civic. We don't have a sedan Civic over here.
Yeah,
do we actually have it and it's called something else, or is it just not in existence?
No, we don't have sedans really like that much.
Well, yeah, okay.
There's a few, but everything's a hatchback, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, okay, everything's a crossover nowadays. But
hatchbacks are great. Like I said, those Corolla hatchbacks I was looking at were sweet.
Yeah.
Like that would be a great 2-car garage if I had my Miata and then like a little Corolla hatchback with a 6-speed in it.
Yeah.
That would be just mamma mia. That would be great.
How's your karting been going, Josh?
Oh yeah, go-karting. That's the thing I've been doing. I don't get a cool segue.
What's going on with the thing?
I tried my best, right, to go from Nos's cars into your Civic, and then aiming to put that into the karting, but it didn't connect.
Speaking of driving,
yeah, exactly. Like, I was clutching at straws here.
No, yeah, I don't remember if I brought it up or not. But yeah, did I ever bring it up? Like I was doing a karting championship.
Yeah, we saw some footage of it.
You
showed
that's
us,
right.
You did the first round in the winter or something, and then you said you were going to go and do it every month.
Yeah. So I basically stuck in the championship. The winter one, I kind of missed a bunch of races and stuff. It was just to learn or whatever. But the summer one, I've just started a couple months ago. I've done every race of it so far. Yeah, it's going good. I've got a lot better. That very first race that I showed you, I was super far behind everyone. I was just the back of the pack by myself doing nothing.
Did you blame it on your cart though?
No.
Come on.
The track just got new carts is the thing. They all brand new carts. So they're
the track just got new carts.
I'm sure one of them, the one you had, was broken, and that's why you were behind. That's what I would have done.
You gotta have those excuses lined up in advance.
Yeah, I always line my excuses up in advance.
They do a good job of it. You change cart every round, and if you don't like the cart you're in, you can just swap.
That's crazy that you got a bad cart every single time. What are the odds of that?
I mean, that's what my track used to do, but you go from a cart that was 2 seconds a lap off the pace to one that was 4 seconds a lap off the pace. I mean,
that's why you don't swap. But yeah, no, I've been having a good time with it. It's it's called South Coast Karting. It's next to Bournemouth Airport. I'm having a good time. I'm faster now. So the first race in the summer series, it was just normal stuff. And I was battling people. I'm getting to the point where I'm realizing what other people have said about it, where they say that overtaking on the track is next to impossible. Because I get into the situations where I'm too nice at the start. I don't have the killer shove people off instinct thing. In the whole race, but especially the start. So I always get mugged by whoever's next to me on the grid at the start, and then I spend the entire race being stuck behind them.
Yeah,
when I'm faster than them, not being able to go past them.
That's why people are so aggressive at the start, because they know you can't get past for the rest of the race.
Exactly. But yeah, the first summer race, I was racing 2 guys for ages, and one of them was an older guy who was chill and cool. We just had fun battle. But one of the guys was a new, younger guy, and he was so fucking ruthless. I just could not. I don't have any footage to hand, unfortunately, but I just could not get past him. And he would just do the thing where I would go up alongside, and then he would turn into me, and it's just well, I either stay here and pit maneuver you, or
that's exactly what I would.
I go off the road, or I pull off, whatever. So I always let go. But I was stuck behind him. We do 3 races an evening. I was stuck behind him for every single race until the last race. I got so annoyed with him that when he did that crap to me, I was just no, I'm just not moving. So I just sat there and just fully pit maneuvered him, and then he stands over his arms up I'm just you just came over on me. What do you want me to do, right? It's just. But I didn't get a penalty or anything.
Everyone's fault, but the person whose fault it is.
Well, that's what I've learned from iRacing. That's how that works, right? But yeah, so I didn't get a penalty or anything. So I'm just like, oh, that is just how you overtake. Like, I just don't concede the position.
Yeah.
But then later in the race, I applied the same logic to the chill older guy, and I accidentally put him into a pole.
No.
And the race had to be red flagged.
Oh God.
I like proper killed it. Like he like, you know, full stop, like kind of killed him. Because I was just like, he tried to get past me or whatever, and I just moved over, and then he just went straight into the wall. And I was like, oh, it's just that one guy is doing this, not everyone.
Yeah,
he was fine.
You got to learn who you're racing with here.
Yeah. He was fine, and I profusely apologized after, and he was like, no, it's fine. But yeah, I was sat there as it's being red flagged, and we're all driving around slow, and I'm sat there like crapping myself, like, oh God, I'm going to be in so much trouble. Oh God, they're going to be really mad. I didn't even get a penalty. It was so I'm just like, oh, okay, this is what this is like.
If it wasn't seen, then it doesn't exist.
Yeah. But the last weekend I just did last weekend, the last evening I did, that was pretty frustrating. Again, stuck behind people, but they reversed the track, which I didn't know was a thing they did. Apparently, in the summer championship, every other race they reversed the track, so I had no idea what I was doing. Everything is completely wrong, and it's now at the end of the really long straight bit, instead of there being a nice straight in, like, you can break down and then pick your point and then do a hairpin. Now it's like a turn into, like, I hope you already braked because you're turning. If not, you're going off the track to the corner. That's like, yeah, it's, and like the only overtaking spots there were are now not there, and now is replaced with nothing. There's like nowhere to overtake anymore. It's awful. I hated reverse. Right? I did wonder why it was completely different people there last evening. Not the same people. It's like all different people. I was like, oh, what is about that? Yeah, no one wants to do the reverse track.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, that was also pretty frustrating. There was a few massive crashes, but yeah, there was like, I think there were like 3 overtakes per race with like 12 of us or something. So it's just like pretty bad.
Yeah, that's,
but yeah, I need to.
Crazy. It feels like an indoor track.
Yeah, right. It was very strange. But no, overall, I'm having a good time with it. I always go there with just like, oh, just be happy this time, Josh. Just have a good time. And then like 2 races in, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill everyone. Sort of driving, right?
Yeah. That's every
time. Yeah.
There's no point in doing it if you don't want to actually do well.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. The first race, I'm always too kind, and then because they use the position of that race for the start of the next race, I'm always behind everyone who's slower, and then it's already too late. I need to just.
You need to like watch back footage of the previous round before you go, so you've got it fresh in your head.
Yeah.
I do not want this to happen again.
Yeah, I need to. I said to people I was gonna, because I'm recording them on a GoPro, and I have a good camera angle now, but I just haven't gotten around to editing them. I've just been too busy doing other things like.
Oh, what are you doing? Like the GTAMarathon experience. How did that go?
Yeah, I after years and years and years of talking about it and going to speedrun marathons and stuff, I finally hosted an in real life speedrun marathon, which was terrifying.
I would have gone if I hadn't just become a father.
Yeah, a child. I was like, come on, whatever.
I wasn't in America. host one over here. I'll go. I got a car that can make it there now. So.
Okay, yeah.
Anywhere in the U.S. or Canada, I can go. Wait, maybe not Canada. I need a passport.
Yeah.
Just get a passport.
Canadians hate us. The Canadians hate us now. I don't know if I'll be, especially with my accent. I don't know if I'll be welcome up there.
Probably not.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, so GTAMarathon is a speedrun marathon that's been like an online speedrun marathon where we just stream together and do like a speedrun marathon thing. It's been like that for 10 years. When I was talking about, even like 5 years ago, I've been talking about, hey, we should just host this at my house or something. Like people just come around and we do it. But yeah, I have friends at the University of Portsmouth that I graduated in, like people I graduated with just stayed there and kept working there. So I have contacts there and stuff. And floated the idea a few times, and yeah, my friend was like, "Yeah, you do it." So, yeah, me and English Ben.
You're gonna have to repeat that again.
Oh, you disconnected again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I the Portsmouth University I studied and graduated in. I had friends that also graduated with me there, but they never left. They became lecturers and stuff. And I floated the idea to them of hosting a speedrun marathon there a few times, because they're always saying like the university wants to advertise that they're doing cool things, but they don't want to spend money on anything.
Yeah.
That's
so perfect for you.
Exactly. Like, you don't have to give us any money. Just give me the room for a week. That's all I want, right? Like, I don't want any support. I don't want any special stuff. Just leave us alone in a room. But yeah, so me and English Ben, English Ben's the one who's been running GTAMarathon for the past few years. We've like floated it between a bunch of people. Yeah, we got together. We made like a little partnership, like a business partnership thing for GTAMarathon, like an official thing. We both put £500 each into a business for it, which isn't super as much high stakes as 10K over here. It was Domino's, but yeah, we were like,
did you actually create a limited company for GTAMarathon?
Not a limited company. It's a partnership between us. So we're both still like, it's like self-employed, but for multiple people.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so we're both still like liable for stuff and whatever, but
everybody's becoming business owners.
yeah, I know, right? This is like I was thinking earlier, this is the episode of ownership. You have a child, you have Nos has a car and a business, and I have GTAMarathon now. Yeah, we put some money in, bought some equipment. So the way we dutied it out was Ben was responsible for all of the stuff that the marathon usually does, and I was responsible for all the in-person on-site stuff. So I wrote like a massive attendee guide. I did all the organizing the room stuff, and all the physical equipment for hosting the marathon I was in charge of, because normally it was just a computer. But we needed you need none of this. We asked a few friends who run marathons about their equipment, but most of this is just coming from my knowledge of being at speedrun marathons. I'm like, oh yeah, you need like a bunch of headsets. You need like the thing that connects them all to an audio mixer, and everyone needs sub mixes and video capture and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I was in charge of all that. So I got a bunch of equipment. I got 2 massive like speakers that you'd use, like a DJ would use or whatever, on stands and stuff like that. Then I tested them in my house, and they were so extremely loud.
Like that scene from Back to the Future.
Exactly. I did have that moment. I had them on like a quarter volume, and that was like so loud I didn't want to go any louder, so temporarily. And then I was watching someone stream, because I was just watching stuff while I was doing this. I was listening to them, and then they raided one of our other friends. But the new guy, the raid target, knew that I was using these speakers, and that the person's stream I was watching was really quiet. so he intentionally made his stream really loud. As soon as it raided, it blasted up music. I had to like run up and turn the speakers off. It was very funny. So yeah, I had my Back to the Future moment with them. Yeah. But yeah, it was really cool. We organized a bunch of people, a team of people. We got it's always really terrifying when people are saying like, oh, I booked my ticket and I got my passport for this and stuff. And I'm just like, oh God, I hope this isn't a disaster, right? Like,
you've got all that weight of expectation resting on you, and people's money that they've spent to come to something that you're organizing. Yeah, that's scary.
And like we sold, like, so many people were so supportive, because we've had like community goodwill build up for 10 years and stuff. That like, yeah, we had like we had 50 people turn up, more than that. I think we sold like 50 plus tickets.
Nice.
Which is, for a first time speedrun event, is like crazy.
How much did it was it significant outlay setting you back with all the things you had to buy, or were you able to utilize a lot of stuff that you just had?
Yeah, so the tickets got us a lot of money back. That was like pretty quick. But obviously buying all the equipment and stuff we needed, because it's all stuff like lock boxes for storing things, and stuff you don't think about like that. And yeah, we also, but the main thing we did was merch. We had like someone on the team who like volunteers, Hossel, makes like a bunch of art. So he made like a ton of like merch stuff, like hoodies and tops, stickers, all sorts of stuff like that. And we ordered them from like Fourth Wall, and that's like demo units or whatever, and then sold them at the event. But yeah, all of that stuff was just arriving at my house, which is already tiny and full of all of my junk that I have already.
Yeah,
so I was like,
it was just full living room full of everything.
I was like, yeah, I was like scooting around like boxes for speakers and then like climbing over headset boxes and stuff.
And where is all that stuff now? Do you just have it in storage somewhere?
Yeah, now it's in my attic.
Okay.
So because we don't need it for a year.
I know. I'm guessing. Yeah, you're always planning to like keep doing it every year. So yeah, there was no point in renting. You might as well buy it. And
we did the first event as cheaply as possible. So Portsmouth Uni, since they just gave us the venue, we didn't have to pay for it, which is like that's like the majority cost for hosting a speedrun event is the venue fees. But we didn't have that. There was downsides that like the building was only open like 9 to 7 or 8 to 7 or something. So most speedrun events are 24 hours, but this one wasn't. There was we had problems with their Wi-Fi and stuff, but we can fix that for future. But there's a bunch of downsides, but everyone was understanding. Like we laid it out to people, just like, hey, it's gonna be like this. But so we did all this organizing stuff. We went down a lot of money, but then we went up a bunch. The event actually made a profit in the end because we got all the for a first time event to make a profit.
Yeah, that's
insane. We're not millionaires, but we're not in the red, right? Like it's like we made our money back. We got our money
better
back
than
out.
we are right now. So
all right, yeah.
You kind of go into it expecting to not make any, like be in the red at least a little bit, surely after the first one. So to not even have that, it's impressive.
Yeah, went really well. But yeah, it's because everyone was so supportive, bought tons of stuff that we sold VIP tickets, and like we sold more VIP tickets than regular tickets.
What do I get for what did I get for a VIP ticket?
For a VIP ticket, you got access to the VIP room in our Discord, where I was posting behind the scenes stuff, like all of the speaker shenanigans in my house. You got a special badge, like a better badge. You got a free exclusive T-shirt, which I should have worn actually. It's like a subtle design of like Grove Street on the shirt.
That's cool.
And I think that was about it. But yeah, it was mostly just like it was like twice the ticket price, but people just wanted to support the event. Some people bought VIP tickets and had no intention of turning up. They were just like, here, have my money for this event, really.
That's nice. The support to make it successful.
But the most important thing was, I was super worried about what was going to happen at the event, how a speedrun event that isn't 24 hours was going to go and everything. But it went absolutely amazingly. Everyone, amazing time. Everyone,
great.
Europeans. Oh, I think Broughy died again.
I died again. Yeah, that's really weird. Yeah, you had an amazing time.
Yeah, we had an amazing time. And we had a bunch of like Europeans and stuff with us. Because most GTA speedrunners are European, not British. So a bunch of people coming to England for the first time. And yeah, because the venue wasn't open all the time, but we were still a big group of like friends. Like it wasn't a speedrun event where I had like the GTA group here and like, some other group here. It wasn't like we were all one big friend group. We all just went to like a pub every night.
Yeah.
To after the venue closed, and we all just chilled out. And everyone had such a good time. We were playing pool, and there was a karaoke night, which was absolutely incredible.
Oh, man. Yeah, I missed out. Oh, I love karaoke.
Yeah, we were all doing like old GTA songs and whatever else. A bunch of Germans sung Du Hast. And it's like, we weren't the only ones doing karaoke there. There was just a bunch of random British like girls having a hen night or a birthday party or something. And a bunch of Germans are just there singing Du Hast to them. But like
I could have done I could have done the entire track listing for K-Rose if I would have came.
Yeah.
That's really good though. So you think it was actually improved by the fact that you didn't do it 24, 25 hours?
It became a benefit as opposed to a downside. It was really incredible.
And time to switch off and bit of downtime.
Yeah. And we were just hanging out as a group together and having a good time. We're actually going outside, right? Like touching grass, but like yeah. But yeah, it only works for like community marathons like this, I think. Like if GDQ was to try to do this, you just wouldn't hang out with people.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a lot of there were lots of other things that were just like miraculously worked out. Yeah, it was just excellent. It went incredible.
Great.
I'm so happy. Yeah, I can't believe how well it went. It was exceeded all expectation. We made a profit. Everyone was happy. It's just good. So we're definitely going to do it again next year. So
about the same time,
maybe in the same venue. Yeah, the same time. If we haven't decided anything, but if we host it in the same venue, it has to be that week because that's the only week. It was Easter break week at uni, so we could book the room for a week, and there weren't just students around everywhere.
Yeah, I see.
But it's there's like a 3-week Easter break, but all the other ones have bank holidays in, and the building would be shut.
Yeah.
So we had to do it that week. Unfortunately, there was another small speedrun marathon having their event on that weekend, and a few people were upset that we because they were booked it way in advance, and then we overran them a bit. But as I've profusely explained to them, so we didn't have a choice. It was this day.
Was that like an online one though?
No, that was the NSG marathon in Norway. That's like a little marathon. But yeah, it was just absolutely incredible. I could gush about it for hours. It was just amazing.
Awesome.
So,
well, it looks like congratulations are in order for Nos with his new business and new car. Congratulations for Josh with doing successful real life things. Like it's pleasant. Everyone's moving up in the world. RDT, he's not here, but he sent us a video.
Oh my god, this is the best video,
of what he's been getting up to, and he's obviously been living a great life. Just out there on he's in Vice City already, with the board, catching a beer, chugging it, and then throwing it back. Like that's what he's doing instead of being here for this podcast.
Yeah. How dare he?
How dare he? I know. He also went karting as well, which I'm jealous. I want to hear about it because he went karting at Sega to the Americas. Like,
cool.
That sounded very cool. RDT already rich. Is that Nos's boat?
Was that Nos's boat?
So I'm guessing we'll hear from him next month, maybe, if he's here, about what he's been getting up to. But that was he specifically put that in our little Discord chat, so I assume he wanted me to show it, just to show off.
This is a surprisingly depression-free episode. Everything's just great.
Interesting that you should mention that, actually, because
oh no, Hammer, don't.
Because it's interesting that you should mention that, because I don't know if you're aware, but our very own Dynamite is actually doing Random All of Us 3 at the moment over on twitch.tv/Dynamite, just to let you know.
Yeah, they are doing Random All of Them again for over 900 cars. Depression in race form. Yes. Yes. Good plug there.
Well, you don't know this, but during the pre-show, before you all showed up very late to the pre-show, I was actually in Dynamite's stream.
Oh yeah.
And he said that he would pay me to say that at an awkward moment.
Oh, okay.
So,
You just ended some. Now congratulations to you for your freelance work.
You should have contacted me. I would have done it for cheaper.
You can't get much cheaper than what you offered me, mate.
Oh, okay.
When I heard that they were doing that again, it was like instant no thanks. I'm good. I did it once. I'm all right, thanks. Driving 900 laps in 900 cars for 12 hours. Dude.
But the content, you get the content.
Yeah, but I've got a baby now.
And then you could split it up into that. That's like 900 videos right there.
If you want similar easy content, you should come play on my MTA server sometime, because we have random races and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, okay.
San Andreas, right?
I know. Well, random races are now on vanilla GTA that I've started doing, so maybe I need to just be doing random races everywhere that has them.
Oh no, that sounds awful. With randomers.
I have done it with randoms too, actually. No, normally we've been just doing them in the community, like we do with Project Tonkin ones. It's just the ability to make random races is now available.
Yeah, okay.
I have actually done some random races in public lobbies, and they are atrocious.
It's like, I got a big vehicle. Let's just stop here and block the road, lol.
Yeah. The last main topic that I wanted to, funnily enough, that is exactly what happened. By the way, the big vehicle blocking the road. Yeah,
people
happens on
people
my
are
server
predictable.
loads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last topic I wanted to talk about. This has happened now, but I've had this on the document for months because it was announced and then extended and then all happened in the time that we've been away. Is Twitch with their VOD highlight culling of
so frustrating.
Oh my god. I deleted 760 hours of video footage to get, and I'm now on 99 hours.
Rookie numbers.
I know.
I jump scared all of my 5 subscribers on YouTube with me uploading videos because there were a couple things I wanted to save, and I did.
This was an absolutely massive thing in the speedrun community because
I saw you tweeting about that.
This has happened once before, or a couple times before. Twitch has done something similar. So back in 2015, actually, or 2014, Twitch decided that they were going to stop storing past broadcasts forever. But like so many people who had done speedruns never highlighted them. It's just a past broadcast.
Yeah.
So we lost like a ton of speedrunning history. Like if you ever watched the Summoning Salt video and he's like, oh, there's no surviving footage of this run, but if it's pre-2015, it's because of that.
Yeah, it would have happened and it would have been on there, but then it was deleted. Yeah.
Yeah, but then 10-ish years later, even worse thing is happening where people highlight stuff, thought it was safe, and then are deleting it. And it's like,
and I can understand like highlights have never been used for highlights. You know, I use them to save special streams or full streams and things like that.
Yeah,
but it's the fact that they actively deleted everything. Like they didn't just say, okay, you can't create any more highlights until you're below the limit, and you've got as long as you want to figure it out, or you can just leave everything there if you don't ever want to create a highlight again, which would have preserved all that speedrunning history, for example, or any other stuff. But because they had to actively decide to delete everything that was over 100 hours, which really 100 hours, it's not much. Like 1,000 hours would have been a lot better, but it's not a lot of time. Like I've got the 24-hour stream. That's immediately a quarter of the entire.
Right. It's like it's acutely bad for speedruns, because there's so many old runs that people aren't thinking about anymore.
Yeah.
It's like as speedrunning, has a lot of like students that do it and then leave, right? So we're gonna lose like a ton of
they're
stuff.
just like a link is put up to a Twitch highlight and then it's just there.
On speedrun.com, now speedrun.com has a ton of warnings, and it has like it detects if like a run is at risk and you get warned about it. And people there was a massive like community effort to fix this problem. So I think we've done a pretty decent job, but we'll only know like once everything's actually gone.
Have they started deleting all the stuff? Because I already had backups of all my highlights, but what I wanted to do was save all the chats, so that's what I had to do. And now I'm going to have to upload them to YouTube so people can actually watch them. But I'd got below the limit before the extension date. Have they actually started deleting things now that with the past
No,
the date?
so I just checked. I'm still at 1,205 hours.
Yeah, I was wondering about just leaving it and seeing what happened, but I didn't want to take the risks. I didn't want to lose. It was mainly the 24-hour stream, full replay. I didn't want to lose that because then you've got to split that into multiple parts because YouTube's got a max of 12 hours now. So
I believe the way that they were doing it was that they were going to delete like the lowest view things first.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, I just realized another thing was another change Twitch made a while ago was like they were going to make it so highlights had like a limit of 30 minutes. And the speedrunning community again was like the main force for like, no, actually that won't work.
Yeah.
Please no. It's just all these changes just really hurt acutely speedruns.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
But nobody likes it.
No,
like you said,
it was just nobody. But I saw somewhere that it's going to save them like $100,000 a year or something like that, and I just thought, well, like. How much does the CEO get every year? Like, how much do the top people get every year? Like,
you could
Jesus,
say all that, but
is that really
going straight to another
it?
super yacht, right? Like,
yeah, and especially the way that they did it, like actively deleting it. I think that's the worst part for me. Like, I'm okay with them, all right, putting a limit on how many highlights of hours you can have, but to actively go back and delete everything and not just grandfather things in or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
If they had done that, then the speedrun community would have been like, "Oh, okay, that's mildly annoying. We'll just move to YouTube instead. That's fine, right?" But like,
at least all the old records would still be there, for example.
Yeah, like people who just haven't come back and don't know this is going to happen and don't check in like 2 months, and that's it. It's gone now.
Yeah, okay. There's been no official numbers. It's just speculation based on calculations of Amazon costs and stuff. But
sure.
But yeah, now Twitch has ample opportunities to come up with ways of monetizing increased VOD storage, as Tyson says. Join Twitch Turbo for 500 hours of highlight footage, of highlight storage.
You know, Twitch could save a lot of money if they stopped developing this useless stream together feature that they keep pushing so flipping hard. Have you ever used this?
No, I had the perfect opportunity to use it as well, actually, with we did Criminal Mastermind with Xerxes, and we were both streaming our perspectives whilst we were in the very early stages of Baby, and it was so complicated to set up, and I just couldn't be asked. I just did the multi-Twitch link like we always have done.
I like how you say, "Oh, we've got a perfect use case for it," and then you say some other thing. What about this?
Oh, this, right? Well, yeah,
this would have been perfect.
That's what I looked into it, and like you've got to go into its own separate like audio system, and then everyone's cameras on it, like, and I just thought like, why? This seems so overdeveloped for what it needs to be.
They're pushing it really hard. They keep adding really good features to it. Like if we used it and you put like, oh, it's the podcast with at RDT at Joshimus, all that stuff, it would then notify our followers that we were on this page, right? It gives them a follower notification. And you can do the shared chat and the shared view count thing.
Yeah. But it's all locked behind this system that you don't want to use.
Yeah, you have to use the system. Shared view count is such an OP feature.
Yeah.
You know, when like you stream something and you have more views than normal, it's just a snowball because people are like, oh, Broughy's got a lot of views today, and click to see what's happening. And then it just snowballs up. So if you just combine the view count together, it happens to both of you, it just get pushed up to the following page. It's like, it's so many really good features that are locked behind this thing. The only time I've ever used it is if we join the fake Discord, I call it. You join the fake Discord thing, and then you just mute and deafen, and then you use actual Discord, but you get all of the nice features. It's so dumb.
Oh, man.
But there's shared hype trains now, so that's another new feature. So that's
shared scam trams.
That's more time and money gone into that.
Scam trams.
But like no one uses this, and like what's going to happen is like at some point they're going to be like, oh, okay, no one uses this, fine, and then just delete everything, like all of the useful stuff that's attached to this thing no one wants to use.
I know,
it's so annoying.
It's crazy. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, I think that just shows that there have been multiple actual genuine use cases for it, and still I haven't used it because it's just badly overdeveloped and implemented. Yeah, great. Thanks Twitch for everything, for just being
as
worse.
usual.
Yeah. Right, gaming news. So we can get through these quick things. I've left it till now, but I've remembered what I wanted to talk about in the GTA 6 portion. I thought I'd leave it in the gaming news. I read about this, that the whole, he says at the very start of the trailer, I'm fixing some leaks. Just fixing some leaks. When he's, that's what Jason says, one of the first things he says. And supposedly, I think according to the GTA mapping community, a lot of the stuff in the trailer is showing off locations, people, things from the leaks, from the original leaks back in the day. So if you were to go through and look at all the leaks, and then like, that's the restaurant from the leaks, that's the vehicle from the leaks, and they've been shown now officially properly in the trailer. And that's probably why Jason says at the start of the trailer, just fixing some leaks. Like, that's what they've literally done. They've fixed those leaks by showing us how they're meant to look. So, so it was a fun little side note. The other bit of gaming news that's listed on here, Switch 2.
Oh my God, Switch 2. Are you guys excited?
Not really.
No, everyone I've spoken to about it doesn't care at all, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm getting one on. I pre-ordered one. I'm gonna get one. New Mario Kart, open world Mario Kart, dude. Ever since Nintendo,
that did look cool.
Yeah,
listen, the Mario Kart looks cool. The amount you have to pay to experience that, not so cool.
Yeah, no, I
that is
might.
very
I
fair.
might. I'll, I might on that. I don't need that.
I don't have the money
yeah.
now for a new Switch.
That's a whole car payment. That's more than a car payment.
Yeah. I love how Nintendo's game design philosophy at the moment is this thing, but Breath of the Wild, right? That's what this is, right? It's Mario Kart, but Breath of the Wild, right?
realizing the open world is a thing.
Finally.
They're so segregated from the rest of the gaming community. It's hilarious. They do not care what anybody else is doing. They're doing their own thing. And if that means they're late to the game, that's fine.
That's what I like about it, because they're so behind the curve that all of the crap, awful monetization stuff doesn't takes like a generation to happen. Like all of the paid upgrade stuff to make your game like Switch 2 better, right? Like you have to pay to upgrade, like 15 quid to upgrade your copy of Breath of the Wild to the Breath of the Wilds for Switch 2. That makes it like run better, look better. You get some more features and stuff. That's like some PS4 Pro stuff. That's like a generation ago. Right? They finally figured that out. And like DLC and stuff only happened.
These days they just re-release the game entirely and you pay the full price again.
Yeah, right. So
Nintendo invented voice chat for Switch 2. Yeah, they are behind the curve on everything.
Dude, if you've seen it, it looks exactly like Discord.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy. It's so funny, but it's also 15 FPS.
Yes.
But there are some cool features like the game share thing. So if one person has a Switch 2, even if everyone else has a Switch 1, you can share like a Switch 1 game. So if you own a game on the Switch 2, you can play it with people like locally. So like it's using like it's again, all of this stuff is just the NVIDIA features of the custom NVIDIA chip that Nintendo just make their own, right?
Yeah.
Like NVIDIA has that like was it like the cloud gaming thing or whatever, where you play like a game from like the NVIDIA servers?
GeForce.
Is it just called Game Stream?
GeForce,
maybe something like that.
GeForce Go or whatever.
Yeah.
GeForce Now. GeForce Now.
Like so the encoding stuff that's built into the the GPU. That's all this is. That's all the Discord clone is. That's all the game share stuff is. It's the rendering in the GPU. The same with the local video recording thing you can do on Switch.
I think I'm just not hyped.
I got recently that is slightly different. I got a new console yesterday. It's my TV. So my TV got the Xbox app.
Oh really?
I'm just I'll try it out. Game streaming works flawlessly.
Oh really?
Absolutely flawlessly. No lag whatsoever. Gives you a wee warning at the start saying, hey, you're on 2.4 gig Wi-Fi. That's probably not going to cut it. Works fine. Not a problem at all.
What are you playing?
It's wild. I'm playing the Indiana Jones game.
Oh really? That's fine.
Indiana Jones game. Really good. Works perfectly. So I've essentially got a new console, but it's just it's just in my TV. It's great.
That's cool.
Yeah,
surprisingly works.
I'm not hyped for the Switch 2 because like I've had a Switch 1 and I played it and enjoyed it, and I don't play it anymore. And like I just not like
Switch as well.
I don't really have any reason to keep playing it or buy a new Switch to play it again. Or it's just nothing that makes me want to get it yet.
Well, I think the main appeal of having a Switch, at least in my eyes, is like if you actually have like IRL friends that come over and play video games.
Yeah.
Like because I just the other day, me and my roommates, we all got together. We managed to play, like we played some Mario Party and some like all those other little games, Mario Kart, and it's like that's a great time. But like in terms of like I want to play a game, like a single player game or some kind of traditional game, it's like the Switch is the worst way to experience that. So why would I do that?
Yeah.
For me, it's all the exclusives that Nintendo makes that I
care about. But again, that makes my point still stand, because half of the exclusive Nintendo has is built around like IRL playing, in my opinion. Other than like Legend, the Legend of Zelda games, obviously, but I mean your Mario Party and your Mario World and your Mario Kart and all that stuff. I just feel like it's or whatever those games are. I don't know. I'm not a Nintendo guy.
The Donkey Kong game. There's the Metroid Prime 4. It's coming out. A little bit later. Switch. It's on Switch 1 as well. They're doing this like I remember when the PS5 came out. like a lot of games were PS4 and PS5
kept that
for
going
ages.
for so long.
Yeah. I bet this is going to be a similar situation because Nintendo seems to be keeping the two ecosystems like the same.
Yeah.
Like it's the same OS, the same login, everything. It's not segregated at all, and you could share stuff between Switch 2 and 1, like I said earlier. So they seem to be keeping all of it the same. But the main killer features for me that make it so Metroid Prime 4 is going to be so much better on the Switch 2 is the 4K output or the 1440p 144 hertz output for the TV.
Will the Switch be able to pull that off?
Yeah, Switch 2 can. Yeah, it does it.
Wow, 144 hertz from a Switch 2?
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be
impressive.
won't it be with like the NVIDIA like AI upscaling stuff?
Yeah. It's DLSS.
Everything is NVIDIA upscaling now.
But the other thing I'm super excited about.
You go outside and it's upscaled.
You can't
like
really
they've added DLSS to real life.
Well, the main thing I'm excited about is the new Joy-Cons. They work as a mouse.
Yeah, that did look pretty cool.
But what's even crazier is what some people have told me. I don't know how true this is, but you can plug any mouse.
Oh
into the
yeah, I
USB-C
saw that
port.
too. Yeah, that's remarkably freeing of Nintendo.
I could play Nintendo games, but with a mouse. Praise the Lord! Like yes.
But what do you do?
4.
Can you still use a keyboard, or do you have to like use the Joy-Con and then a mouse?
I don't know, like what one Joy-Con and then a mouse.
So yeah,
maybe?
that's got to be disorienting.
That's what that article that said that you can use the mouse. It was you use a Joy-Con and a mouse, which is the same as what you would be doing if you were just using two Joy-Cons, right?
Yeah. You just turn the Joy-Con sideways. Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been saying for years that I absolutely hate about PC gaming is keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
Mouse, great, love it. Keyboard, fuck off. Hate it. So ideal solution would be like analog stick in your left hand and mouse in your right hand. Switch, you're doing it.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
I never thought about that because keyboard is my issue with like mouse and keyboard.
Yeah,
I like
you get
keyboard.
you get the analog movement of a joystick, but then the precision aiming of a mouse.
Yeah.
It's the best of both worlds. There are some speedruns that do this. You hold like an Xbox controller in one hand and a mouse in the other, right?
I've done it. Yeah. I've done it in GTA. I've held my controller in my left hand just so I can use the left analog stick and use the mouse to aim. I've used it in GTA before.
Interesting.
Yeah,
they are doing some pretty like I know we say they're behind the curve on the anti-consumer stuff as well, though. But like they're also doing a lot of that with the game cartridges being, you know, virtual game cartridges or whatever. You're not actually getting the game in them, and the physical media is dying and all that stuff.
They made the physical versions more expensive than the digital ones to discourage people from buying the physical ones. Yeah, I know, right? It's just that side is awful, but I feel like that's happening everywhere, right? Like
it's possible that I will get a Switch 2 at some point in the future, but I just don't feel any need to get it immediately. That's the thing.
The main thing that's really annoyed me about it is that the screen is not OLED. So you know that in 2 years' time, there's going to be an OLED version.
Yeah. All right. Quickly go through then. Racing Corner, new Formula 1 season. Spicy, interesting at the top.
Yeah. No flexi wings at Spain now.
Who's going to... And the qualifying's been going on while we've been recording this, hasn't it? I'll have to watch the highlights afterwards.
Right, okay, yeah.
No spoilers. Who's going to win the championship?
Well, that's actually a hard question. Wow, this is a good F1 season. I don't know, Norris?
I initially said Piastri, so I'm going to have to stick with that, but I also think there's a better than 50% chance that Verstappen will do it when the two McLarens will take points off each other, and Verstappen will just sneak through like a Raikkonen in 2007.
The funniest thing would be if Russell won the championship.
Yeah.
Consistently third and fourth every race.
If Mercedes start putting in a car that can win, then he could. He's kept the points in play, but they need to put in a winning car. And other Racing Corner news, the Nürburgring 24 hours is next week. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. It's next weekend. And we're doing it. Well, the 1322 Racing team are on iRacing. Yeah. I saw that Prolapse were also wanting to do it, and they are doing it, but without you. You were like, nah, Switch 2 is more important.
Yeah, I'm doing too many other things at this point. Like, there's a new Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set coming out. There's Switch 2 is coming out. It's just too much happening.
It's kind of crazy.
But I'll definitely.
Well, look at look at how that changed. Now I'm the one doing a 24-hour Nürburgring race, and you're not.
Yeah, crazy.
Meanwhile, I haven't played video games in months.
Oh, you didn't get a Switch 2. You can play them on the go.
Yeah,
no, I'm all right. I'm all right. Playing on the go. I mean, what do you mean?
Please, Broughy, you need to bring Josh back to iRacing.
That was his turn. Yeah,
it's all turned around. But yeah, should be interesting. It'll be the first proper big event for the 1322 racing team on iRacing. So that'll be interesting to see how we do. I'm expecting for us not to get to the end, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah,
the iRacing room in your Discord is kind of active. I read it every now and then.
We did a charity race. You were in it. The Make a Wish charity race.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. For Make a Wish, there was the Globo 6-man team that joined with the Mazda to cause us trouble and stuff. And ever since then, most of the guys have just been they were in the MX-5. Ever since then, the guys have just been enjoying iRacing and getting on it and racing and having fun. So we have enough people to actually do a 24-hour now.
I like to read it and be like, oh man, none of these people will be playing if I didn't get Broughy to play, and then he didn't play, and then
it's true.
This is a weird cascade thing.
You never know. Yeah, it's true. As Dorojan says, we can barely keep Broughy invested. Please don't ask too much of him. I'm doing the bare minimum that I can do because child.
Whenever I'm just chilling and I see you streaming iRacing, I always tune in. I don't always talk, but I also watch your VODs back. I'm always like, oh yeah, Broughy iRacing content.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, I know that you say that it doesn't do anything on YouTube. I think you said in one of the streams that nobody likes watching this on YouTube. But I watch them, Broughy.
There's the diehards who watch the iRacing and the real life racing.
Yes, exactly. Those two things. I don't give a shit about the GTA 5 stuff. I watched the GTA 5 video in 5 years.
Yeah, there's so much GTA 5 videos. It's understandable that you miss it. But when an iRacing one pops up or a real life racing one, those are the gems. It's just nobody else wants to watch it.
Literally, I'm going to send you a screenshot. This is
okay
of your channel. Where's in choke chat? Here you go. You can see my watch history, right?
To be fair, the iRacing chat is more active than the GTA chat in my Discord at the moment. Oh, I see. Okay, let me open this in the browser to show it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
it is fun to think about. You mentioned them driving the MX-5 in iRacing. I'm driving the car that so many people are driving in a video game.
To be fair, you were already doing that because isn't it the older MX-5 that's in iRacing?
Yes,
it's at least the one before the one you've got right now.
I thought the ND was in iRacing.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Are you positive?
I might be wrong. Isn't it
it's been a while since I drove the MX-5
car or something? Although,
well, that's still the same. That's still the same body style. That's it's essentially the same car.
Oh, so it's the same. Okay, right. I see. The body is
2016.
Yeah, that's an ND1, but it's still
okay. Oh yeah, well then, yeah, you are. So the Josh's watch it. If you go to my channel page and videos, nothing watched apart from the iRacing video.
The iRacing, I watched all of that.
Yeah,
nothing else.
You didn't get to the end though. You're not even finished.
I think I did.
Oh, it just hasn't recognized
it.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Well, you're one of the 2.3k viewers who watch iRacing, and I greatly appreciate it. You, a man of taste, absolutely. You rated me on one of that F4 qualifying as well. That was funny.
Oh yeah,
I was in the zone.
Oh my god!
And then the race went terribly, like F4 races always do. But F4, since they split the open wheel and the sports cars, I treat open wheel as just my if I just want to have a bit of fun or do something random because I don't care about the I rating, I don't care about the safety rating. I've only got a Formula 4 anyway. So
yeah, that is kind of the problem with open wheel and iRacing right now. Is everyone's doing that?
Yeah, no one cares really.
That's why it's like it is. Yeah.
But yeah, there'll be a real life racing video soon as well. Because I finally got back to the track last month, and it's taken me a month to edit the video, and I'm going back to the track tomorrow morning for the next round. So yeah, there'll be stuff for the diehards to watch that isn't GTA. And Speedrun Corner, last thing. What's this all about?
Oh yeah. So oh god, I had a tab of this somewhere. Where has it gone? Yeah, Ludwig, if you know who that is, some big streamer, YouTuber person, I think.
I do know who Ludwig is.
They ran a speedrunning event a while ago called Fast 50. That was like, it was like, what if someone who doesn't know anything about speedrunning runs a speedrun event?
I think I remember us talking about this, did we not?
Yeah,
when it got announced.
There was a ton of drama and stuff about it, yeah. This time, they sort of improved a little bit because they had a public submission form. And I clicked on it, and it was a Google sheet that had very bad questions on it, like, what game will you do? And stuff like that. As someone who knows a lot about speedrunning events and hosts them now, I was just like, oh, this is hilarious.
There were no relevant questions.
Yeah, it was, I can't remember what the questions were. They were very silly. But you know, I was always of the opinion of I think I was anyway at the time, that they could do whatever hell they want, like whatever. We don't own speedrunning license or whatever.
It's like if anyone wants to do a GTA racing event, you don't have to go through my stringent processes of making sure it's right.
Well, they do if they want any viewers.
Obviously. But they should. Actually, there was a Spanish streamer who did like a Twitch GTA racing event. I might have mentioned it on the podcast before, but it was massive. It was like I can't remember the prize pool, but it was like big money, and the races were like head-to-head races. I think the first race was a regular race, but any of us in our community would have beat every other. It was what's that called? The Twitch does with the
Twitch Rivals.
Twitch Rivals. It was a Twitch Rivals event with like big money for the winner, like $100,000 for the winner or something.
Right,
and a lot of Spanish streamers, I think. But like, where was my invite for that?
Yeah, Spanish speaking. It's all different languages have such different communities.
Yeah.
There was another iRacing Twitch Rivals event that I was in, another one by the same guy who did the other one.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember who it was,
I was disappointed.
Yeah, I was invited, but I couldn't do it that weekend, so I was just like, "Oh, sorry, I can't. But please invite me to the next one."
Damn, I didn't get any. Why do I not get invites to anything ever?
Yeah, I was gonna tell you about it, but I got told like a day before it. So I was just like, I was not gonna bother.
I probably wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. Would have been.
Yeah, I think it was around when you were having your kid, because I was also. I think I was busy with GTAMarathon or something at the time. I don't remember what it was. It was something. Yeah, it wasn't gonna work.
Anyway, Fast 52. They did it better this time.
No, they just announced it, so they did it. Yeah, they've the slightly better public form, but we'll see who actually gets picked. The thing is, it's a paid event, so you get paid to go, and you get like flown out there and stuff. So when people complain like, oh, they only pick like the big streamers and stuff, it's like, yeah, they're trying to make a flip of money on this. Yeah.
They need to get some eyeballs on it. We can't just pick Johnny Nobody.
And I applied, but I have never heard anything, and I don't think I'm going to hear anything.
Which is like ironic, like to have an actual speedrunning streamer who has very good numbers, not like be involved in it. Well, although, is it just like the numbers of the people here are actually beyond?
Yeah, there's some very large speedrunners.
Okay.
I know it's because I am me, so I consider myself the average, but I consider myself painfully average, like streamer thing. That's it. Are you
going to speedrun GTA 6?
Oh yeah, my plans for GTA 6. So my plan for GTA 6 is I'm going to do a playthrough marathon of every single Rockstar game leading up to GTA 6's release. Like try to time it.
Table tennis?
Yeah. Everyone always says table tennis. Yes.
Table tennis question mark?
I'm trying to plan
Rockstar
it.
Table Tennis is a banging game. It's a really good game.
So I'm trying to plan it that I finish Red Dead Redemption 2 like right as GTA 6 comes out. And then day one GTA 6, I'm going to do a cutscene % speed run, which is actually just casual playthrough, but it says speed run in the title and there's a timer. So that's my plan. Yeah. I'm going to speed run it.
If I have time to stream, my plan was to go back to GTA Online and like do all of the good content in GTA Online in like chronological order. So like go do all the contact missions and then do the original heists or whatever, and then kind of work your way through the DLCs. Like obviously not do like death matches and all that trash, but
the original heists still hold up.
Yeah,
Sexy and I played them a couple of months ago, and they're still, as long as you've got a group of 4 who are actually like competent, I think they're some of the best stuff that GTA.
Yeah, I've done the Criminal Mastermind before, a long time ago, and it was fun.
I never did do that.
Just don't do Doomsday. You can skip Doomsday.
Yeah, the little bit of Doomsday I've played was very frustrating.
Yeah,
it's like bullet sponge aimbots.
Yeah, and you've got to do 5 prep missions to get the equipment that you need to be able to do the setup missions, to then be able to do the first part of the heist, and then you've got to do that 3 times over. It was so obnoxious. But it's good to get another podcast in the books. I thought it would never happen again in those first couple of weeks, especially after having a baby.
One.
It's been positive, those first couple of weeks after having a baby, I think the whole world is over, and I'm never going to do anything ever again. That's it. No more YouTube videos, no more streaming, no more podcast. Everything will implode. But we're here eventually, and hopefully we can be here next month too.
Yeah, hopefully so.
But congratulations to you two.
Everyone.
Congratulations to you. Yeah, congratulations.
And congratulations to Hammer on the little bit of money you made for Dinmite's shout out.
Yeah, that's big.
That's kind. Appreciate that.
Congratulations, chat, for being here and enjoying another podcast. And for those who are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever audio service you listen on, I don't know how many people listen these days, but thank you for listening. And for those who are watching on YouTube, leave a comment. Give us the algorithm feeding comments.
Yes. And for those that were listening as well, Nos's new car is red.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I was not gonna accept any other color. Well, if there was an exceptional deal on the blue one, like I'm talking like a big price cut, I would have taken a blue one. But the red one.
I think you chose correctly. Yeah. That shade of red is really, really nice.
Yes, soul red crystal metallic.
Have you seen it in the sort of white pearl color that they do? That's
I've
quite
seen
nice
it
as well.
I don't like the white. I'm sorry.
You're gonna have to, for any listeners, you're gonna have to go and look at the YouTube video. Give us that sweet ad revenue for if you want to see Nos's car. All right. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Do you want to say goodbye, guys?
Bye.
Goodbye, guys.
See you all later. Bye-bye.